Hey guys, welcome back to the Pineapple Podcast.
Welcome back.
I always say like it's Monday because we do like the weekly episodes, but now we're
Today
not.
is Monday.
Well, I mean, hopefully this comes out on Monday. You never know.
I would say it's Monday somewhere, but I don't think that's true.
By the time you hear
no.
this, it will be Monday. Unless we don't upload it on Monday, then it wouldn't be.
Then there's a better chance it might be Monday somewhere.
Then yeah, better chance Monday somewhere.
So, yeah. All right, we got a guest today. Guest, introduce yourself. Who are you?
My name is Brian Crosby. I have known these guys since I was 13, something like that.
Something like that.
It was a while ago.
I was in like 7th grade.
But
I
then
think.
you moved,
I did, yeah.
and you
So,
came back.
That's also true. Yeah, no, I moved to Florida for 2.5 years, and then now I'm back here for school.
That's a really long vacation.
Long, yeah. It was, well, I lived on the beach, so
Yeah.
it was basically just a 2-year vacation.
2-year vacation.
Yeah.
Wait, so you just lived on the beach for 2 years?
I mean, not like right.
He was a
I lived
hobo.
I lived in Ormond Beach, which is a suburb of Daytona Beach. So I literally lived like stone's throw. Not really, but like I was within just a couple miles of the beach.
Daytona Beach is like the coolest.
It's okay.
It's
I
okay.
think people
It's
I
okay.
think people think it's a lot cooler than it is, because like it used to have a reputation for being like this massive party place.
Right.
But that was in like the 90s.
I went there a couple years ago, and the weather was nice. You know, it's already beats the Pacific Ocean because it's warm water. You can actually
It is.
go in it.
Yeah, it is.
You can play like water football or whatever all day. And then they got like the bubble gum shrimp right there
Mm-hmm.
on the
boardwalk.
the boardwalk. And then when we were there, it was for the mission trip. And so we spend the day at the beach and stuff, and then we go to Bubba Gumps on the boardwalk, and then you remember Noah Saldivar?
Mhm.
So we're like on the boardwalk, like on the kind of by the sand, and it's like the sunset on the beach while he's like doing like this Bible devotional. It was pretty lit.
Yeah, the boardwalk has. Were you near that like amphitheater looking thing down by the boardwalk?
I think that's yeah.
Is
That's
that
where
where
we
you
were.
live? Yeah, that's pretty neat.
The
They do like live
sunset's-
shows there sometimes.
Yeah, the sunset's though pretty cool down there.
Yeah, it is because like, I mean, even though because the sun rises on that coast because it's east, so it's really fun to catch like sunrises there.
Okay.
I would do that sometimes, but the sunsets are still cool because Florida's so flat. I mean, it's similar to Texas
Yeah.
except there's trees.
Yeah.
Except there's trees.
Lots
Palm
and lots and
trees.
lots of trees and
Yeah.
alligators. That's it. It's just trees and alligators. But yeah. So like, but the way it worked is like it would still the sun like the rays would still kind of like wrap around the state. So it's like you could still see the cool colors and stuff.
And it's like
What?
over the water too.
Yeah.
That's
and
one thing we don't really have. At
Yeah,
least here in the
yeah,
middle.
yeah, that's true.
Flat, yes, but you also got alligators, trees, and water.
That's true. And pretty much every reptile known to man.
Just every
Dude,
reptile.
that was one thing I was laughing at because, I mean, I don't know if it's the area we were in specifically. I can't speak for all of Florida. Like each backyard had its own personal like mosquito net around it.
Yeah.
Is it like that a lot of places?
Yeah, it's like that like almost the entire state.
Dang.
It's just there's so much swamp all across the state. Like the Everglades are in the south, so it's like that's where it's like thought to be mostly. But like the swamp is like everywhere. Even like
Yeah.
where I live, right near the beach, you can
Dang.
literally walk and find a swamp.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
It's
That's
crazy.
insane. I would not have
It's not
thought
like gross
that.
swamp. It's just like more shallow water, and there's like a lot of cypress trees, and there's things called cypress knolls, which are like they almost look like stalagmites made out of wood. It's really interesting, but they like stick out the water and stuff like that. So it's kind of eerie looking almost, but it's not like gross. It's not
Stalagmites
like
made out of wood.
it's not like Werewolf of Fever Swamp kind of.
It's not like a Scooby Doo episode.
No.
Oh, man.
It's cool. It's really interesting. It's just like a full ecosystem.
Hey, sounds good. So this is your third time living in Lubbock? You just
Yeah.
got here a few weeks
Yep.
ago?
Yep, I lived here as when I was like from the age of like 3 to 5 when my parents were students here, and then I moved back because my dad got a job actually at Sunset, and then now I'm back as a student at Sunset. So all 3 times were because of Sunset.
God brought you here 3 times.
I know, and I kept leaving.
You're basically Jonah.
Yeah.
No, so
Does that mean Lubbock's Nineveh though?
Dang. I don't want Lubbock to be Nineveh.
I mean, they repented.
Well,
It's
yeah.
true.
Just Jonah's mad about
It's
it.
true. It's actually it's like licking his fingers, eating hash browns.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Dude, I scarfed mine. I was starving.
Dude, me too. But I've been talking the whole
I'm
time.
trying to like not chew loudly while we're on air.
On air.
I don't know what you call it.
On air. This is not live.
It's live recording.
You should do live.
No, I don't know if I can do that.
Just live stream it.
Hey, I'd be down to try that sometime. But we'd have to have, yeah, I don't know. We'll get there
It
at
is
some
different.
point.
Yeah, it is different.
It is. It is.
We should run through these guest questions real quick, even though we
Uh,
talked a lot about you already.
Well, I mean, it's
All about Brian. I'm kidding.
All about Brian.
All right. Guess question number 1. Occupation.
I need to add on here just like childhood nickname, just so we can talk about it.
Just for the not
Yeah.
even for the future, just right now.
Just right now.
Yeah.
It wasn't even my childhood. It was just y'all.
It was
It
just,
was just
us
us.
for a
Literally
couple
just
of years.
you two.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it just us?
I mean, maybe a couple people on the soccer team, but like that's.
I thought it
didn't
was like a
really extend.
universal thing.
Oh no!
Universal thing.
Heck
No, like I thought
no,
everyone just
Jeremy
called
just
you
started
that.
calling me that.
Oh wow!
All right. Well,
I feel really
get to-
dumb now.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get there in a
Occupation.
minute.
I'm a student currently at SIBA, Sunset International Bible Institute. Obviously, you guys said you had a lot of Aimers, so I mean,
Yeah.
it's accompanied with the AIM program. It's just more residential because you don't necessarily go out. It has different tracks. There's the youth and family preaching and missions track. I'm doing youth and family. This is my first year, so it's not quite. It's not.
So Scott Rectenwald, look out! Your job's gonna
Yeah.
be up for grabs
Not
in a
for
few
Scott,
years.
Scott and Jeremy. I'm just here to replace him. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing. It's a 2-year program, and we have classes like all day, as opposed to like a traditional college where it's like you might have like 2 classes one day, no classes one day, or whatever.
You just have classes every
They
day,
literally
all
cram-
day.
they cram as
8:35
much-
to 4:30 every
Dang.
day. I have class.
Cram as much Bible into you as possible.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
That's
a
a
bachelor.
lot.
You get a bachelor's in 2 years.
Yeah.
Like I'll graduate with a bachelor's in 2 years. So they have to. They have quarters as opposed to just full semesters.
Yeah.
And so each quarter is fitting in a semester of work,
Dang.
basically. So
It's definitely a lot of work, but worth it.
yeah, no, I mean obviously, and it's good knowledge too. It's not just like working for work's sake.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like stuff I actually want to learn. So it's like I don't even mind doing the work.
That helps. Yeah.
At least for now,
More
but like
work.
it's only just finished the second week, so that might
Yeah.
change.
All right. So in a year and a half, I'll bring you back and we can listen to this episode. You know, when you were
It'll
saying.
just be me complaining for like an hour and a half.
All right.
Favorite food?
Cause why not?
Yeah, we
Favorite
just
food.
threw it in.
That's a good. This is a question that I've thought about for a very long time. I feel like a stereotypical answer is pizza. I like pizza a lot, but
Special pizza.
special. Yeah. Oh man. But the more I think, it's probably like roast. Like my mom makes like a really good roast
I can definitely
with like some
respect
potatoes and carrots and stuff like that.
Oh
and,
yeah,
like a soap
that's
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's really good.
maybe some mashed potatoes or something like
that.
that.
Dude, that's like a Sunday after church. You get home and like
Yeah.
it's been on the crock pot while you're like worshiping God.
Yeah, you like walk in the door and it just like hits you right in the face.
That's actually a good one. Question, off topic, but not really. Have you ever had cauliflower crusted pizza?
No, I've heard of it though.
So that's a thing in Lubbock now. They've got it at like Pie 5, and
Do
there
they
was
really?
another pizza place. There was another pizza place that just started it. I don't remember which one.
I mean,
But
Pie
I've been
5 already
seeing
has
more
gluten-free pizza.
and more cauliflower crust. Alright, let's pause this.
Oh. All right, we got
So
interrupted.
eyeballs.
We got interrupted briefly.
We were talking about cauliflower crust. So, yeah, sometime we'll have to go to Pie 5 and document you trying the cauliflower.
Document it.
Dude, that's what my dad gets.
Is it any good though?
I actually tasted a bite one time, and it's not. I mean, going from the regular crust to the cauliflower crust, it's not anything crazy. It's just a little different, but
It's not like an assault to your taste buds or anything like that.
not really.
I mean,
I'm sure
used
it's
to
healthier,
gluten-free,
too.
So.
Yeah,
Which they have gluten free also, Pie 5. So that's nice.
yeah.
That's what he meant by special pizza. I mean, that would probably make sense. That would probably be a good thing to know. I'm
yeah.
allergic to gluten, so.
Oh, you're
But he's not like fake allergic to gluten.
No,
Not fake allergic to gluten?
I've been well since birth, I guess. But like when I started getting on table food as a baby, I started just like getting really
So
sick.
like early 2000s here, folks, not like 3 years ago or something.
No, yeah, it's been 16, coming up on 17 years.
Yeah. So,
So I'm one of the OG glutens.
The OG
OG
gluten.
celiac, yeah.
You should have filed a patent for it. No, so it's actually kind of funny. And I was sitting behind him Sunday when we were doing communion, and the communion comes for the cracker, and he like takes the tray and just passes it to the guy next to him. I'm just like, what is Brian doing? Cause like I'm just like, what? He didn't take it. I was like, is he like feeling guilty or something about something? And then I was just like, oh, gluten.
Dude, sinner.
Sinner. And then I'm like, oh, we got gluten-free
Yeah.
wafers out in the front now. They started that last year.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
really convenient.
Yeah. I bet you a lot of people were complaining.
Well, I used to like bring my own just
Yeah.
growing up. I mean, we would just get like unleavened crackers or something like that.
Hmm.
And my mom would like make me bring them and stuff because like even a tiny bit, if I don't get sick, it just like isn't good for my immune system. Even if I don't feel it, it like
Yeah.
breaks it down slowly. So she would always make me do that, even though it's like a tiny bit once a week. Still.
Is that your hobby?
What? Being allergic. Yeah.
Is that your hobby?
I don't know if I have like a ton of hobbies. I skateboard. That's like the closest thing I would probably say I have to a hobby.
Do you like play video
You
games
still
or anything?
game?
Yeah, I play games, but I wouldn't consider that a hobby. I just do
Oh.
it. Like I just, I don't know. It's not like, oh yeah, I'm interested in doing this for the sake of getting better at it. And it's like, I just do it. I've always played games. I don't know if I'd consider it a hobby.
What do you play?
Minecraft.
Minecraft. No, honestly though, dude,
That's what everybody's
Minecraft's
been
is
playing.
sweet. Minecraft is awesome. I've been playing that for a while. I think the first time I played was actually with Ben. I think he introduced me, or this was the first time I
Wouldn't be
played. He
surprised.
didn't introduce me to it, but
Right.
but I've been playing Call of Duty a little bit more again. I used to play a lot, especially in Black Ops 3. I played like a significant amount. It was bad. I got really good at it, but it was because I spent so much time on it.
Yeah.
Like it was probably not.
I hear that from a lot of people. They're just like, oh yeah, I play Black Ops 3, or like, I don't play Call of Duty at all.
Well, I mean, I played before that,
not-
but it was just
why did I say Black
the
Ops?
one I was best at was Black
feel like-
Ops 3.
I feel like a lot of people like Modern Warfare.
Yeah, I mean,
The most.
they're making a new Modern Warfare actually.
Yeah.
They're really, the beta opens for it September 13th, I think, something like that.
What the
It
heck?
releases in November maybe, something like that. It's this upcoming fall. I know that late fall.
Yeah, I think we've talked about it a little bit before.
It looks pretty good. It doesn't. It looks like the mechanics are slightly different than a normal Call of Duty, so it'll be interesting.
There's no like wall running or anything like there was in the other ones.
No, but it's not. I mean, it's supposed to be more like the Modern Warfare series. I think it's actually
Yeah.
a precursor to Modern Warfare 1.
I don't know.
Because some of the main characters I think are younger than they are in the original series.
I had never really played Call of Duty. I wasn't a huge fan of it.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I mean, I sort of grew up playing it. I played like World at War back in like 2008 and 9 with some of my friends when we were little. We played like zombies and stuff because it was still new. We would just play on like the original map, and then like DLC came out, and we were like freaking out. Oh my gosh, there's new
Freaking out.
stuff. Pack a
New
punch.
stuff.
The pack a punch and the perks and stuff. So I don't know. I was pretty used to it. So
Yeah.
I just kind of transitioned into the new. As I got older, I just transitioned into every new game that came out.
makes
Did-
sense.
Did y'all hear about the huge breakup that went down?
Yeah,
No, I don't think so.
Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, I did. No, I did. That's sincerely depressing.
It
Yes.
really is.
And when I first saw it, I thought it was like fake media, like it was something
Right.
like trying to jab for attention. And then I kept seeing it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. It doesn't normally like carry this far out.
Right.
Okay, I saw this post yesterday. It was from some like random media outlet. it was talking about how
Babylon Bee?
what?
The Babylon Bee.
No.
He doesn't
No.
even know what that is.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I mean, I hadn't
I've
heard of
seen
it.
some funny stuff. There's some pretty funny stuff.
It was Tom Holland and Robert Downey Jr. went like on a hike together.
I saw that. I followed someone on Instagram.
They're just like hanging out, just like being depressed over the fact that he can't be Spider-Man anymore.
I mean, to be fair,
They're just like, hey guys, we're both not in Marvel anymore. We're
Yeah,
both in
yeah.
the MCU.
Yep. And like the meme where when Spider-Man was asking for all the different Avengers, he's like, Captain Marvel, off-world. And he's like talking to Nick Fury, Thor, off-planet. Me, out of MCU.
Dang.
Ouch.
But I did last night though. I saw something. So it had been 3 days or so. It had been since what, Wednesday morning. This
I
went
think
down,
so.
I think.
Something like that.
So the world had had some time to kind of soak it into stuff. But last night I saw something. Marvel did reach out to Sony. They're trying to mend the relationship. They offered them a pretty sweet deal for us. We'll see if Sony takes it.
So like a lot of money.
No, it was a 6-movie contract with an option for a 7th. And it was like, so Sony, I don't remember all the technical stuff about distributing and stuff, but Sony gets like 30% of all the revenue.
Dang.
30% of the revenue of all the Spider-Man movies?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
It was
That's
like
a lot of money.
It was 3 movies for like a new Spider-Man trilogy. So 3 movies, and then I want to say 2 Avenger movies, or maybe 3, and then him appearing in something else. I don't know.
I heard there was rumors of like him and Deadpool having some crossover.
Yeah, him and Deadpool, and then also the Fantastic Four.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
him and Johnny Storm
Mm-hmm.
are traditionally friends and stuff. So that'd be
Yeah.
fun.
Well, I mean, Tom Holland signed a 3-movie contract. Like that was his contract as Spider-Man. So
Yeah.
they would kind of be violating a contract. I mean, I know it's bigger than that, but at the same time, it's like I feel like we should at least get the 3rd, and then if they want to sever ties, do it then. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, you mean like solo movie?
yeah. So like
Oh.
there's like Homecoming and Far From Home, and then like there's supposed to be a 3rd, whenever. I
Because
don't
he
know
was
when,
in
but-
4 movies.
No, yeah, 3 solo.
3 solo. Okay.
movies, not including Avengers.
So bring back Spider-Man.
Is there any
Yes.
other world-breaking news?
I don't.
This is our equivalent of world-breaking news. Like we're just nerds, so this is all the stuff we talk about. We don't-
PewDiePie is Mr. PewDiePie now?
I was just about to say that actually. I was just thinking
Mr.
that.
PewDiePie?
Yeah, he got married.
Mr. PewDiePie.
I mean, he was Mr. before, but
I know.
he married his girlfriend / fiance of a long time.
Who's like low-key normal.
Who?
Yeah, she's pretty normal.
Yeah, I would say like she's one of the
He's
most.
a normal dude. He just like
Yeah.
he used
Has
to be
that-
so eccentric.
Yeah.
And then now he mellowed out a lot because he doesn't
Yeah.
care and he has 100 million subscribers.
I mean, he hasn't passed the milestone just
he's
yet.
only
He's
got like
really
95.
close.
No, he's at 99.
99.
He's like
No, yeah, he is
he's
about to cross.
to
Oh,
hit
snap.
100 million.
The thing on his YouTube channel right now is like a lot of the subscribers want him to get to 100 million before YouTube changes it so that way you can't see like the moment it passes. You know, like you can't see like the
Why are they gonna
like
change
the
it?
counter.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they gonna change it?
The YouTube wants to change it just because they don't want to have all those like live channels like that are constantly
Oh,
That's
like
kinda
showing
dumb,
the
though.
subscribers.
I mean, why would you not have that if it supports your platform? That doesn't make sense to me.
because
Like-
YouTube's dumb.
That's they're very dumb.
They have what's her name as like the is it the CEO? I forgot her
I don't
name.
know.
Michelle
I know what
Obama?
No.
you.
I forgot her name, but
It would all be just workout channels if it was Michelle Obama.
workout channels. And then you'll have this one thing called Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
It just takes over.
Every video is demonetized.
Oh,
But
every
then-
single video. No monetization allowed.
No.
bruh. Beto can campaign his platform on there. By the way, he lost.
Who did?
Beto.
It's been an ongoing joke on the
Oh, really?
podcast. Like Jeremy talks about it every week,
Oh.
just because
He
he
lost.
can.
I'm not one to break tradition, so.
So,
We
yeah.
should probably move on to our Bible topic. We have a lot of stuff to go through, and we haven't gotten that far through.
Yeah, but we didn't start right today, so like.
Well, yeah.
Well,
I'm saying like we have a lot of other stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
And we've just kind of been, I don't know,
Oh, well.
talking about other stuff. It's
We can
fine.
Cut stuff out if we need to.
Yeah, it's true. Editing software, it's amazing.
YouTube editor, let's go.
We just need like a time editor so we can like go back and do other stuff.
Like timestamps.
Yeah. Well, no, I meant. Never mind.
Okay. Well, timestamps wouldn't be a bad idea either. Just like manually keep track of when we switch subjects so you can. Anyway, that's besides.
Just like write it in.
Yeah.
I mean, we could, but it would take extra time to like go through the entire podcast and like figure out when we change topics
yeah,
and
that's
stuff.
True. That's true. Anyway, continuing.
What are we talking about next?
The BIBLE.
Is that the book for me?
It is.
It is.
I was hoping one of y'all would
I was thinking.
If no one else is gonna say it, I will.
I was hoping one of y'all wouldn't be heathens.
What did heathens?
Does that make me the heathen?
I guess so. You didn't get there in time.
Dang it. Well.
No, so Brian's got our Bible passage today.
Yeah. So who's the heathen now, Jeremy?
Hey, the Lord works in mysterious ways.
So in Sunset or SIBA, where I'm a student of, one of my classes this first term is Life and Teachings of Christ, and there's a couple different books. So like there's Life and Teachings of Christ in Luke, Matthew. I don't know if it does all four Gospels, but I know Luke and Matthew specifically. And so my first term is Luke, and so we've been going through slowly and just outlining some of the stuff, and like it's so cool to be able to have someone to guide you through in depth. Like, it's so easy to read over, like, different stuff in the Bible.
Yeah.
So having someone who can outline it for you and then point out, like, this is why this is significant.
Yeah.
Because it's such a significant book, the authors were very intentional about every sentence they put in there.
Yeah.
Like, it's always connecting to something or, like, leading to something.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to be able to see that. Very fulfilling. It's helped me, like, a lot. Not only in that, but just to read, like, in-depth text in all the other books of the Bible. It's,
Yeah.
like, it's all significant, so... Anyway, so in chapter 4, this is right after, John the Baptist, Jesus is baptized, right? Holy Spirit comes down, and then Jesus, after this, is tempted. This is the beginning of chapter 4, is the temptation of Jesus, when he's in the wilderness and the devil comes and tempts him with the 3 temptations. And then, as soon as that ends, so verse 13 says, when the devil had ended every temptation, he departed from it to an opportune time. And then it transitions to Jesus beginning his ministry, is the official heading of verse 14. So he returns in the power of the Spirit to Galilee, which first of all, that's cool, because we have the idea of the power of the Spirit. It's a very powerful image, not to be repetitive, but it's just a cool image. And so he's teaching and being glorified by everybody, and he goes back to Nazareth, right? So this is his hometown. And as it says, as he was custom, he went to the synagogue. So he does this regularly as his custom. So he grew up doing this. I mean, he grew up in Nazareth, so everyone would have known him and all that kind of stuff. He's in the synagogue, standing up to do a reading, and one of the scroll of the prophet Isaiah, so the book of Isaiah for them, was given to him, and he found a place where it was written. And so this is the main little part I want to talk about, verse 18 and 19. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim liberty to the captives and recovering of sight to the blind, and set at liberty those who are oppressed, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor. Then he rolled up the scroll, gave it back to the attendant, and sat down. All of the eyes of the synagogue were fixed on him. So I think it's really cool. Something we talked about, and as I was reading this, I kind of noticed it, is verse 18 and 19. So this is from Isaiah. Outlines his entire ministry in 2 verses, and it's really cool. So Spirit of the Lord is upon me. We have this again, the idea of the Spirit just enveloping him, and then it's anointed him to proclaim good news to the poor. That's a very common motif throughout the Gospels. Good news. I mean, that's what the Gospel is. So good news to the poor. In the Beatitudes, he talks about the poor in spirit, so that's very common. And then proclaim liberty to the captives. And I thought liberty was a cool word, because liberty is freedom and
that's the whatever translation I googled says freedom.
Yeah. So I mean, and from the captives, so
NIV.
the idea that we're captives of sin, which is true.
Yeah.
And so it says he has sent me, so God sends him to proclaim this freedom to captives and recovery of sight to the blind, which is another common motif is sight and blindness. John talks a lot about sight, which is actually a reference back to Genesis, and there's a lot of cool correlations there. And then again, the word liberty, at least in my translation, I'm reading out of the ESV, liberty to those who are oppressed, and then proclaim the year of the Lord's favor. I just thought it was really cool how Isaiah, hundreds of years before, if not over 1,000, I'm not quite sure when Isaiah was written, but he uses 2 verses to outline the almost the entire purpose of the New Testament, basically.
Yeah.
In very straightforward language, and then I think it's just a really cool thing that it says he just rolls up the scroll, gives it to the attendant, and sits down.
Yeah.
He just reads
Just,
the super
walks
profound
up.
thing, rolls it up, hands it back, and then sits down. And it says all the eyes in the synagogue were fixed on him. I can just picture them what? And then because then he goes to tell him
Basically, should have just dropped the mic right there.
Exactly.
Just pulled
Drop
out
the
this
scroll.
mic, drop the
Drop the
scroll.
scroll. And then right after this it says he began to say to them, "Today the scripture has been fulfilled in your hearing." So he just sits down and he's like, what I just talked about, I'm fulfilling it right now. Like, as you're hearing it, I'm fulfilling it. And I just thought that was, like, the simplicity. Like, how many times could you read through the book of Luke, and if you're not thinking, just read over that passage?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Or any passage, for that matter. But, like, that's just what
Right.
was really stuck out to me as we were reading it. And I thought that was really cool. But then, what's funny is right after this, the people get really mad at him. Right after this, they were immediately after this in the next verse. It says they all spoke well and marveled at his gracious words that were coming from his mouth, and they said, "Is this not Joseph's son? Like, do we not know this kid? Like, we grew up with him. Like, they've seen him up to this point, and they're like, we know this guy. Like, what's he talking about?" And then right after, it's funny because he calls him out. He's like, "Doubtless you will quote me this proverb." That's the next verse. Like, I know what you guys are gonna say, so let me go ahead and cut you off now and tell you why you're wrong.
That's great.
It's just very the like assertion and power that he, even from like a dominant tone, not power of like power in the spirit necessarily, but just like the confidence he's portraying and stuff like that. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah,
imagery.
I don't want to cut you off or anything, but I need you to talk a little bit more into the mic. You're kind of like turning and like talking away a little bit, and I'm watching
No, you're good.
like
I fidget and turn. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I got you.
I'm watching the levels kind of like fade as you're like turning away and turning back, and it's like
It's so they can hear it in both earbuds if you're using earbuds. Surround sound.
surround sound. Okay,
Surround sound podcast.
just make sure like you're speaking like into the mic.
Yeah,
a
no, I
little
got
bit
you.
more.
I got you. Yeah, so they get mad at him because he's saying, doubtless you will quote me this proverb, physician, heal yourself. What we have heard you did at Capernaum, do here in your hometown as well. So they're hearing of these like miracles that he's been doing, and they're like, oh, he's gonna come back and do all this cool stuff for us because we're like he prefers us because we're his hometown, basically. And so they're like, oh, he's gonna come back and do this, and like basically their mindset is he's ours only because like this is his hometown, like
Yeah.
he grew up here, so like
Yeah.
he is ours specifically. And we talked about that a little bit, like how we have this mentality, even modern day, like signs will say like Lubbock, the home of, or wherever.
Buddy
the home
Holly.
of. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. They have like this famous person or this like momentous thing that
Yeah.
they attribute to themselves, and because of that, they think they're great, which isn't necessarily true. I mean, it's cool to have pride in that kind of stuff.
Right.
But Nazareth it's like Nazareth, hometown of Jesus. It's like, I mean, the Son of Man has no place to lay his head, so he doesn't really have a hometown. Like he does, he grew up there, but like he doesn't have a place that is his.
Yeah.
So, but that's kind of their mentality. And then his reply to that is, truly I say to you, no prophet is acceptable in his hometown. And then he talks about how in the days of Elijah and Elisha, like they were doing these things, but like there was problems in their hometown that they didn't necessarily fix. They were in like other places doing these great things, even though they were these probably some of the most well-known prophets in the entire Bible. And so because of this, he tells them basically like, no, I'm not going to do this for you. He's like, I don't want to do this because you only want me here because I'm doing these great things now. And he's like, I'm not going to do this for you. And then they get mad at him and drive him out and try to push him off a cliff. Which I'd never noticed that before. They literally like try
Honestly,
and kill him.
I don't remember that either.
Yeah, they rose up
pushed him
and
off
drove
a
him out
cliff.
of the town and brought him to the brow of the hill on which their town was built, so that they could throw him off a cliff. But passing through their midst, he went away. So he literally just slips.
Okay,
under.
I remember that part. Yeah, where it
slips under.
says
He
he
just
went
slips
away.
under their guard. Like there's this huge like mob trying to push him off a cliff, and he just like slips through. He just like goes under their arms and just like gets away.
Huh.
Like
A little bit of a little help there,
Breaking
disappearing.
yeah. But I just thought that passage was really cool, how it outlines his ministry and stuff like that.
Yeah, and like just 2 verses.
Yeah, literally, the passage in Isaiah outlines his entire ministry. And I thought it was a good symbolism of his own people trying to kill him, because that's what happens
Yeah.
throughout it's the Jews who end up killing him, which are his people. And so there's kind of some foreshadowing
Yeah.
as well as like...
For sure.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's almost like God wrote it to be intentional or something like that. It's almost like it all connects.
Yeah.
Almost
Wow.
like it all
Almost-
connects.
It's almost like he has this master plan of everything that goes down.
Man,
and
that would
we're-
be sweet.
And we're just like living it out.
Man, if only, right?
If only.
Anyway, that's my
After
biblical
like
thought for
starting classes and stuff and seeing a lot of like the parallelism between like Old Testament and New Testament stuff. Do you feel like it should be talked about more in church?
Yeah, especially so. I have Old Testament history is one of my classes right now, and so we just started in like Genesis 1, and I think we just finished Genesis 11. So we just finished. We got up right to like Abraham, like chapter 12. I think starts talking about Abraham and all that kind of stuff, or Abram and then Abraham. And so, excuse me. Sorry, I'm still turning a little bit.
Yeah, it's okay. I wasn't gonna say anything.
Sorry, I'll try and quit fidgeting. But so it's cool to see a lot of the parallelism in some of the words they use, especially like I mentioned John. There's a very common sight is a very common thing in John, and seeing like you have seen what I've done, or like I'll tell you see this, like just different stuff like that. And sight is used really common in Genesis, and so it's cool to see the correlation. It's like when John was writing it, he was specifically referencing back. Excuse me, and we can see that because of obviously like the language that's used, specific words, because they had such specific meanings.
Yeah,
that's another really cool thing I've been learning is some of the specific words, names of God. There's, I mean, Elizabeth uses, or maybe I think, yeah, Elizabeth when she's talking to Mary about how she's like blessed to be able to carry Jesus, uses two different words for honor, and it's really cool to see just like the way that the translation of Hebrew and Greek, a lot of times it's translated to the same word in English, but it might have a very different meaning.
Yeah.
So not different in like a bad way, it's just in like a deeper sense.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think the correlation between the two should be talked about a lot, especially the prophets, which we're not quite there yet, but see, the prophets are referenced a lot obviously in the New Testament, so I've seen that. And so I think it'd be really cool to have like a more in-depth study of the prophets and how Jesus completely, like the fulfillment of that. Because it's easy to brush over like, oh yeah, they talked about Jesus, and then we kind of leave it at that. But like,
Yeah.
Not only did they talk about Jesus, but as we see in Isaiah, that I just read, they talk very specifically about Jesus. Like literally 18, 19, like we just talked about, is his entire ministry in 2 verses.
That's all over the New Testament.
Oh, yeah.
They're fulfilling prophecies or quoting things from the Old Testament, and we don't always know that there's like any significance behind what we're reading. Or like sometimes we just like kind of like this passage, like a lot of times we just like read through it and be like, okay, cool, but I have no idea that it has more meaning than just the words on the page.
Yeah, and it's cool also because like they had to memorize so much of the Old Testament.
Oh yeah.
And something else we've been talking about is the humanity of Jesus, and how we don't have a specific time where he has this realization of who he is, as the Son of God. Because like it talks about how he is fully human and he grew up normally.
Yeah.
So like he grew up. It's not like he was, as soon as he had cognitive thought as like an infant, that he was like, I'm the Son of God. This is what I need to do. It's like, I'm sure Mary told him some of that, and like he grew up kind of knowing that, and as he got older, maybe in like his late teens and 20s and stuff like that, he started coming more so to the realization, especially through reading the prophets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And going to the temple and learning.
Yeah, and like when he was 12 years old, he went and was like learning and teaching in Jerusalem and stuff like that.
At my father's house.
Yeah, like did you not know I was in my father's house?
Yeah.
And it's funny because like it says Mary and Joseph like didn't know what he meant by that.
Yeah.
It's like, how could you not?
How could you not know?
I mean, it's easy to say that from like our perspective because
Right.
we have the entirety of the New Testament, whereas they.
You think Mary at least would?
Yeah. I feel like they
know
would have been
something.
kind of clued in on that after 12 years. I don't think it's easily forgotten who your son is.
Unless it's like, they had Harry Potter where they learned something, you had to give him like a memory wiping spell or something. But you'd think Mary would remember something.
Yeah, and I think they were just kind of thinking I don't, like, not to like assume, but from a human perspective, like your father's house, what have you done? Like, we don't live here.
Yeah, well, they're probably in a panic and stuff too at that time, looking for him.
Yeah, because like this ceremony, or not the ceremony, this like tradition that they go to in Jerusalem, it lasts like an entire week.
Yeah.
And there's like hundreds of thousands of people.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they just assumed, like, so they probably traveled in like a caravan with like their family members and stuff like that. So they're like, oh, he's just with some other people in the caravan. So they didn't think about it. Because I mean, why would they're not gonna like steal a kid. No one, like, it wasn't.
It's Bible times.
Yeah, it wasn't that big. It's not like it is today. But so they weren't as worried. I'm doing it again. They weren't as worried about him being gone, and they trusted him. You know, like he had gained their trust. Obviously, he was a good kid. So, I mean, you'd think that Jesus was a good kid.
You'd think.
But they got like, what was it, like 3 days away or something like that, or like I don't know. It was a while. It might not have been that much.
Son.
It might have been like a day, but they were
bad
like
parents.
And it says he was in the synagogue like the whole time, like so for like a couple days straight.
Asking
he was just
questions and learning.
yeah, and not only that, I think it says that he was teaching too. So not only were like there were these old like rabbis and like really learned men of the time who had like this good insight that he was learning from, and he was asking questions, and it said they were like
amazed.
Yeah, they were amazed at like his insight. Basically, that's a paraphrase, but like just how much he was able to read into it and stuff like that. And so, but yeah, they're just like, dude, in your father's house.
Opinion: Jesus was buff.
I mean, he was probably lean. He was a carpenter.
Yeah.
So like he probably had like
But
tone.
a carpenter was like.
I don't know about buff.
Cut rocks for a living.
Cut rocks?
A carpenter back then was different than like a carpenter
Well,
today.
yeah, that's true.
He's not like just hammering in like shells with a hammer and nails. He's like,
I mean, yeah,
cutting stuff with stones and.
I don't know about buff though. He was probably decently muscular.
Decently muscular.
He had some tone.
Tone.
Maybe definition.
Why are we talking about this?
Title of this podcast.
He was chiseled.
How buff was Jesus?
Chiseled, pun intended.
Chiseled.
Yeah.
I like it.
Shout out to the skit guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey. They make it look so painful.
Right.
I mean, it probably would be if you actually physically got chiseled. But
well, lucky me, I'm not getting physically chiseled.
I'd hope not.
Also, lucky me that Lucky Charms is now selling their marshmallows in bags.
That was a smooth transition.
What a segue. Jesus to Lucky Charms. I've never seen it done so smoothly.
Yeah, that was
ever. Maybe I don't think.
Normally we have pretty cringy transitions, but this is one of the smoothest.
That was a good one.
Bags.
They just. What do you mean like a bag? Like a cereal bag of just marshmallows?
No, so like you know how you. What's a marshmallow brand? Jet Puff. That's
Jet
the
Puff.
cream. Do they sell marshmallows?
It's
I don't know, just the
There's like the
marshmallow
Stay
brand.
Puft
Alright,
marshmallow.
so you're like, okay, I need to go get some marshmallows to make Rice Krispies, or I need marshmallows to go bring somewhere to roast marshmallows. You go to the marshmallow section
Sure.
at the store. Well, now you can buy Lucky Charms marshmallows, no cereal.
I would just.
Just the wait, are they like big or are they like the little tiny ones?
Are they squishy or crunchy though?
I don't know.
Because Lucky Charms marshmallows are crunchy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
unless you
they're
put
not
milk on it.
The Lucky Charms marshmallows are usually like pretty dense
Yeah. Until they hit that milk.
until
Yeah,
they
like
hit
you could
the milk.
snap it. Well, even then, it's like sometimes the outside will get a little softer, but the inside's still like
Yeah.
It's like the milk hasn't fully permeated through, so it's still
So
hard
what you
in the
do
middle.
is you get a toothpick and you poke holes in all your Lucky Charms marshmallows to make sure that the milk is properly distributed throughout the mallow.
Dude, I want Lucky Charms now. I might run on my way back to my apartment. I might do that.
Should go get some.
You get Walmart right there.
I think I'm out of cereal anyway, so that's probably not a bad idea.
Hey, Lucky Charms are one of my top 2 favorite cereals.
I think they used to not be gluten free when I was a kid.
Oh.
I didn't really eat them as a kid, and then when I was like 15, maybe, I noticed that they were like had made them gluten free or something like that, or they might have been before that. And
Yeah.
they might have always been, and we were just like scared as a kid, like
Yeah.
that we didn't want to take any chances,
Yeah.
because we didn't quite know everything then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, wow, this changed my life. Not only did they make Cinnamon
Lucky
Toast
Charms.
Crunch,
It just
'cause
changed
I hear
my
about
life.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch so much, like that
I
is.
mean,
I don't think it's that great.
No,
It's
I'm a big fan
okay.
of cinnamon though,
I
which
like
is also a
cinnamon,
good
too.
transition, ironically.
We got these smooth transitions.
What can I say? I just have that effect. No, cinnamon Coke. I see
Yeah.
that on the topic list. That's disgusting.
I've never even heard of cinnamon Coke
I haven't
until you
either,
put this on
but
here.
alright, it's coming out for the holidays.
Cinnamon Coke?
No.
That should not be a thing.
Okay, it's funny because I show this to my mom because whenever we go to like Bahama Bucks or somewhere where we're getting snow cones, she always gets cinnamon snow cones.
That doesn't sound
That's like
that
her
great.
favorite thing is cinnamon snow cones.
I would get more behind that because snow cones don't inherently have a taste. It's just ice.
Yeah.
So like cinnamon, it's just by itself. It's just
It's like
cold
it's a
cinnamon.
flavor.
But
So-
Coke has a very distinct
And then
and
the
sharp
only
flavor.
Yeah, the only soda she drinks is when she drinks soda is Coke. And so I'm like, hey, they got cinnamon Coke and they had like little Santa Clauses on them and stuff.
I mean, I can get behind the Santa.
There's not the cinnamon.
Just
Or the
that's-
Coke.
I mean, I love Coke and I love cinnamon, but just not together. Because, like, they both
I'm
have
not a
such
Coke
very
fan
distinct and, like, sharp flavors. Like, as soon as you
I
taste
feel-
it, you're like, oh, I know what that is.
I'd be willing to try it.
I would
mean,
try it, but unless it's something
Wait,
just amazing,
Can you
I
can
would
you
not
imagine
drink it.
Sonic trying to get on this and be like, all right, it's 50 cents extra to add cinnamon to your Coke?
Honestly, I mean, I've been going to Sonic a lot lately for, like, happy hour and whatnot. Happy hour drinks. Most of the time I just get cherry limeades, but sometimes I like to throw a different
Okay,
flavor in
I was
there.
gonna ask what you get.
I mean, you probably wouldn't have thought that like cranberry and Sprite would have gone together, but
See,
That's one of the best
I
things.
don't know.
Yeah.
That makes more sense to me because like Sprite's like a clear. It doesn't have colas in general have more of like a distinct kind of flavor where it's like they don't mix as well. But
Sprite-
Sprite and like lighter
Sprite
sodas
was
work
made
better.
to be mixed with things.
Yeah, or like ginger ale. Ginger ale can sometimes
Yeah.
mix with stuff.
By itself, I don't like those.
No.
You got to throw in like Kool-Aid or you make the punches out of them.
Yeah.
You,
I like
it's
them.
not just like by itself.
I'll drink Sprite by itself every now and then.
Yeah, him
Another,
and
I like them also because they don't have all of the like the food stuff that makes it all like sludgy, you know, or like the coloring. You know, colas are so like dark,
Oh.
you know,
Yeah.
like it's harder for your body to process.
Is that
So,
true?
like, yeah, no, it is. It's like at least what I've heard. And I'm
You
not
burn
trying
more
to-
calories doing that though?
I highly doubt that.
I was just wondering. I'm like, huh.
I've
I was
heard
just
that
wondering.
like the I don't know, the caramel color, I guess it would be, forms almost like a sludge in your stomach.
I mean, it's
So, like,
entirely
there's, like, that-
possible, but I don't know.
just take a drink of your Dr Pepper, drink water, Dr Pepper water,
I don't know if that's
balance it out.
it. Just
Soul for soul.
It's soul.
Soul for soul.
So y'all are not behind the cinnamon Coke.
I don't know.
I'd be willing to try it.
I would try it, but it's just, especially with the fizz. I feel like that's a big part of it.
Ooh.
I don't know if cinnamon should be fizzy.
Yeah, you're right. I don't think
That
cinnamon
is
should be
actually
fizzy.
kinda funny.
You know.
Fizzy cinnamon.
I'm thinking of like
Fizzy.
like a cinnamon coffee drink mixed with like a Coke. I just can't think of it.
Well, that's not what
coffee,
you're supposed to
that's
think
not-
of.
Yeah.
I know.
You're playing the game wrong, Zach.
I would be more inclined to
But
But
try
you,
it.
cinnamon, you don't have it by itself.
Maybe
It's like
you don't.
cinnamon tea,
I mean,
cinnamon
maybe
Remember
coffee.
the cinnamon challenge? I mean,
I never did that. I wasn't dumb.
I didn't either.
didn't
My brother
either.
did, and I think he almost like puked.
Oh my gosh.
That's basically everyone.
Yeah. Some people like died from it. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
because of
yeah.
like inhalation. They got it in their lungs, and
Yeah.
it was like, I don't know. No, yeah, I never tried that either. I was never big on hopping on like challenges.
So you never
Just-
did. You never ate Tide Pods or dumped ice on your head.
Not for the sake of a challenge. No, I did the ice bucket.
Wait,
stuff.
which one? He asked if you had 8 Tide Pods. You said not for the sake of a challenge.
Did you eat a
Anyway,
Tide
what's
Pod?
the next subject? No, I never did. That's
You're
that's dumb.
strictly-
Also, I'm allergic to
Okay.
Tide.
Are you really?
Yeah, not because of gluten. It's just I've like my it gives me kind of a rash a little bit. So
Wow. The more you know.
yeah, so I didn't want to ration my mouth or stomach or anything like that. In addition to poisoning because it's detergent.
Yeah,
Right.
makes sense.
I just go for straight bleach.
Yeah.
Just old
At
school.
least it cleans you out.
Old school.
Ugh. I don't
Alright.
know. Is
We got some more Apple trouble because why not? It's every
Apple
week.
trouble? Is that Apple? Isn't like iPhone Apple?
Yeah.
Not like the fruit.
No.
Okay.
Not like Eve.
I was gonna say
ruining the
humanity's already had enough Apple trouble.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
back in the olden days. MacBook Pro exploding. What is that? I mean, there's been, I feel like in the past few years. Well, it's a 2015,
Yeah.
so like we had
world.
the
So the one
Samsungs
that's like 4
exploding,
years
like
old.
a lot of stuff exploding as of late. I feel in the last few years. as
Like
of
our
late.
podcast.
Ooh,
Not really. I wish.
like these transitions.
At least the transitions.
So no, what's the deal with the explosion of it?
Jeremy, you put it on there. I didn't read up
I
on
was
it or
looking up
anything.
something else. So basically, then there's like these mechanical layers now, and they explode. And so the airports banned them because they don't want anything exploding, and so you literally have to have like a paper certification that you got your laptop checked out and it's like good to go.
Oh, really?
And like if you're on like in the airport without having, and it's like an actual paper, it's not like anything digital. You have to like carry around like this paper that says your MacBook's okay. And if you don't have that, then they like throw you out immediately.
Is it only 2015? Or
Yeah.
So any other year you're good. It's just if you have that. Just buy a new. That's not worth the trouble. Just buy a new laptop.
That's
honestly.
not worth the trouble.
No, having to carry that around every time you want to. I mean, I guess if you don't travel, but
I mean, we don't travel very much. At least I don't.
no. But also, I don't have like. I'm not a huge fan of Apple, like
Yeah.
computer software. Like
I
I have
mean,
an iPhone,
none
but
of
like
us
even
are.
then,
None of us are.
None of us are.
That's why we literally just leave Apple trouble as a topic on our podcast because every week there's always something.
yeah. Or like, do you remember when the chargers were like burning people really bad or whatever? Like they would sleep with them like in their bed or whatever, and they'd overheat and like give them really bad burns.
Yes.
I actually don't remember
That was only that was I think that was when I was living in Florida. That's kind of how
Yeah,
I
I was thinking,
engaged
like,
when
2
stuff
years
happened
ago.
by where I lived.
You've lived like 10 states.
6, but I've lived in Texas 3 times and Florida twice. So it's
Montana at one point.
Montana, Kansas, North Carolina, Georgia, Florida.
That's a lot of places.
It is 6 states, and then I've lived in a couple different places within those states, except
I've
for
only
Texas.
ever lived here. So,
That's false.
well, El Paso doesn't really count.
I didn't know you lived in El Paso.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
born in Mexico.
No. Your face when you said that.
I was like, really? I was like, oh, that's cool.
El
That's
Paso,
not- I mean,
Mexico,
Luke
same thing.
Schaefer was born in Mexico, so I wouldn't. I mean, like,
No,
it's not.
well, I was roasting El Paso because it's basically just Mexico.
It is though. Like, it's yeah. There's certain places where the border is just like so unpatrolled.
Yeah.
But that's a political.
Of course,
topic,
you know
but
where those places are.
I don't know what you're talking about. No, I've never. I want to get to Mexico though. That'd be cool.
Have you ever been?
I've lived out of the country once. It was Honduras.
That was cool. I went to Mexico this last spring for the first time.
I've heard a lot of good things about it. Unless
Yeah.
I mean, unless you go to the bad places, obviously. But don't
Do that.
Just don't do that.
Don't be dumb.
Like I know Juarez was at one point like the murder capital of the world.
Dude, that's like
The new murder capital of the world is Slate.
right next to El Paso.
Yeah, Juarez is like right by the border. Like
Yeah.
you transition into Juarez.
No, I know. Like, my family used to go there all the time.
Into Juarez
Yeah.
specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, I'm sure it's a cool city, but as far as like the crime and like the gangs and stuff like that, at least it used to be the murder capital of the world. And I think actually now it's in Honduras.
I mean,
It's like the most dangerous city in the world. Technically, is in Honduras.
my mom used to tell me, like, it was never that bad before. Like, they used to, like, walk around and, like, there was...
Well, I mean, it depends on where you go to. There'll be
I
like
mean,
the
that's
more
true.
popular, like the nicer parts of the city, and then there'll be the quote unquote slums, I guess.
Mhm.
The
Where,
dope.
where it's a lot more dangerous. But there's a movie called Sicario. Came out in like the first one came out in like 2015. The second one came out in like 2017, I think. But it's about like it takes place in Juarez. It starts in America and then they go to Juarez, and it's really good. It's a very intense movie, and it's definitely if you're under 17, make sure your parents are cool with it.
Yeah.
There's not anything like inappropriate. but
Disclaimer.
There's language and a lot of violence and stuff like that. So just, I mean, use caution.
So
Yeah.
if you watch it and
you're
have
an adult.
nightmares, Brian doesn't want you to call him, basically, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't
don't
want to hear
call
about it
it.
from your parents. So, but no, it is a very good movie. Very, very good movie.
What is this? WordPress bought Tumblr? Did you meant to put WordPress?
Yeah, I'm fixing it all.
I was very confused.
At
I'm
first I
like,
Also, there's
actually-
an E
WordPress?
in Tumblr. If you talk about the social media platform.
Wait, did
It's just an
WordPress?
R. TUMBLR. Yep.
Yeah.
Because it's
At first I actually put...
I didn't think
but-
WordPress was that popular.
Well, they just bought Tumblr.
Dang. They must have had a lot of extra cash lying around.
But the thing
It's
is
Tumblr.
Tumblr that popular anymore?
How much do you think
I don't
Tumblr
know.
costs, Zach?
I remember like Tumblr was a thing back in like the day, and then it kind of had like a revitalization in like
2016?
No, it was before that.
Oh.
It started the revamps probably started in like 2014. Maybe went through 2016 or 2017. But I feel like it's gone down again.
So what would you rather have? Oh, Tumblr or MySpace?
MySpace, at least for the irony.
Just because you can.
Yeah,
MySpace. Do people still post music on there?
MySpace changed a lot. Like I went to the MySpace
Yeah.
like homepage not that long ago because I was just like, I wonder if it's still like up to date, and they've like
Yeah.
done a lot of stuff where it's very like.
I looked at
easy
it
to
last
navigate.
year and it was basically like, kind of like SoundCloud.
Yeah, it was
like
it
a
was
lot of
interesting.
artists on there.
Yeah, well, I know a lot of like social media influencers nowadays got a big start on MySpace.
Yeah.
Like Jeffree Star. Do y'all know who Jeffree Star is?
Nope.
Do
He's
not.
a do it.
I do not.
There's a lot surrounding him, but he's a YouTuber now, but he owns multiple companies. He's like stupid rich.
Stupid rich.
He's very I don't know how to say this without being rude or anything like that. He's very flamboyant and very open about his flamboyance.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But when it comes to business and stuff like that, he's a genius. Like he is very smart when it comes to stuff like that. And if I'm not mistaken, he actually started on MySpace with music. And he got like a big start on there, and he got really popular, and then kind of transitioned.
So did I.
But he has like his own makeup and clothing brand, or maybe not clothing, but I think he has his own like purses or something like that. But
I want my own purse.
Do
like
you
you specifically, or like a brand, or you just want a purse?
Not brand.
You just want a brand?
Make big bucks.
Dude, purse
Sell
game is
some-
where it's at.
Some Pineapple Podcast merch.
There you go. Your icon can just be like a little golden pineapple.
Bruh.
I saw that. That's pretty nice. I like it.
So, I'll start a purse company and move it straight up to downtown Detroit.
Name it something
move
like
to, like,
Gucci
LA.
or Supreme.
Move to LA. I feel like that's where all the dumb people who will buy stuff like that are.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Gee, thanks!
No.
So, have y'all heard about the Facebook cafes that are popping up?
No.
Briefly heard about it. Don't know much about it though.
So Facebook's like, hey, you know how everyone hates us and nobody trusts us? Well, we're going to change that by popping down some local cafes around the world.
So they can put mics in it and still catch what we're talking about.
No, so like, the point of these Facebook cafes is so you go in, they buy your drink, they purchase your beverage. How nice of them, right?
Yeah.
It sounds
Where's
very
the hook?
suspicious.
Yeah,
and
where's the-
then they help you. They go over like the terms of privacy and and they show you how to like set up your privacy
On your Facebook
settings
account.
and
What if I just walk
So
in
it's a
and I
help
don't
center
have
that buys coffee for you.
yeah,
a help center?
essentially.
A
Okay,
help
that
center.
actually sounds kind of cool though.
Yeah,
but they basically
what's
just
the
like
point?
they just read the.
They have such bad publicity right now. They
Yeah.
really want like anything to help them.
I'm still a big proprietor of Facebook for the sake of I like the way it's organized. I like the way it's organized. There's some funny stuff on there. I follow some spicy memes.
Some spicy memes.
Yeah, there's some.
Do you
There's some pretty
follow
stuff.
any of like the Lubbock memes?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, dude, there's some Lubbock meme groups that are like.
Lubbock is a
like-
meme.
Yeah, so so
The
imagine
weather.
just like a meme group that just makes memes about Lubbock, and they're so relatable because it's so true.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not normally a huge fan of meme platforms or pages or whatever that only do one type. Like if they're focused on, I get that. I get the appeal. Is
Yeah.
if it's very focused, then you want like, or like it's focused, or like a lot of people they're like IB memes. You know, like IB schooling where it's like really difficult and stuff like that. They're like IB memes because like only they kind of understand because it's their own thing. It's very in depth and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I get the appeal, but I'm just not personally a huge fan of it.
Yeah.
Not to say that I haven't in the past per se, but just as a general rule,
So
it's not really my thing.
go
I
get
don't know.
yourself a Dr. Pepper with
Cinnamon.
a cinnamon Coke with Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, you can put some Lucky Charms marshmallows in it.
Do it. Speaking of Lucky Charms and being futuristic, IKEA is trying to launch a full line of smart furniture.
What would you do with like a smart couch? What would that do?
It reads your posture. I don't know. I feel like you could have like a screen built into the side, like the rest, and you can like mess with your TV and stuff like that.
What
Or like
happens-
it pops up with like.
What happens though when
notifications.
that like screen stops working?
Buy a new
What happens if
screen.
you like spill a drink on it? Like
You just can't drink anything.
you can't drink anything on your
No.
couch.
No.
It sounds
There
horrible.
aren't cup holders built in or anything. Just wrap the whole thing in plastic. Put a screen protector on the screen.
On the couch.
Yeah, just like just
Put
take
a
some
screen
like,
protection on the couch.
I never thought I would like actually think that would be a thing.
yeah. I mean,
It's funny though, because IKEA is like known for their simple, cheaper furniture and stuff.
IKEA is known for their dumb put together products.
Yeah,
like how it takes like it's so difficult to like put everything.
Yeah.
Together. And their meatballs, because
And
like they have
their
like a full
meatballs.
like food court.
Swedish meatballs.
Dude, IKEAs are cool. Like I hadn't been in one until like maybe a year and a half ago. I
Yeah,
was in
when-
Orlando.
when
and
a
there's
couple
big
years
IKEA
ago.
there.
I
And
haven't
like,
been in IKEA in
It's
forever.
different than you would expect if you don't
Yeah.
know much about it.
it's easy to get
You walk-
lost.
Yeah, you walk in and you're like, they have a brand for themselves. They sell
Yeah.
everything. We're like, okay, so we're calling someone that we know from Lubbock. We're in Colorado at the one there. And they're like, hey, we're at IKEA. You want anything? And they're like, oh, dude, they're the best hangers and smoothie straws. So we brought back hangers and smoothie straws from IKEA because they're like the best.
Dude,
It's like the most random things you don't think of.
they have a lot of stuff.
They have a lot of stuff.
Speaking of IKEA, just like reminds me of PewDiePie.
Yeah.
Do you
what-
watch PewDiePie?
What
Yeah, I
doesn't
do.
remind you of PewDiePie?
No, like with like
Have
his
you
Minecraft
watched it?
IKEA tower stuff like that.
Did you watch his Let's Play? Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I need your opinion on this real quick.
Okay.
Okay, so you know Jurgen, his horse?
Yeah.
So
Wait, which one? Like the original, the
yeah,
OG?
yeah, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so our family, like we have a ranch, and my mom, like we got a horse,
Uh-huh.
and I want to name it Jurgen,
Dude, heck
and
yeah.
my mom's just like, no, we want to name it Toby. I'm like, what?
Toby.
And I'm like, we gotta name it Jurgen for the memes,
Toby.
but she doesn't understand.
Also, Jurgen's a cool name.
It's a
Especially
pretty
for a
cool name.
horse?
Yeah.
Toby
Like-
Flenderson.
Oh man, that horse would get nowhere in life.
I don't think Toby would be that great.
No, it's an odd name for a horse.
Yeah.
Horses are supposed to have like exotic names or something.
Exotic or like
Ace,
Ace.
Ace.
Dash,
Jurgen.
Jurgen. Yeah. It just fits in It just rolls off the tongue.
Pikachu.
Just yell for Jurgen.
Jurgen.
Come here, you're.
Yeah.
Just want to be able to walk outside and like scream Jurgen and have the horse like running to you.
Just majestic diamond
Yeah.
armor.
That'd be great. Just make some diamond armor to put on him.
Hey, due to time, are we just gonna like do the video game stuff and call it, or
Yeah, we can. We don't have that much other stuff and
all these TV shows?
no TV show. Oh wait, I didn't see you put all this stuff on. I got on this morning and I'm like, I don't have a lot of content to put on.
I had no content to put on because I wasn't quite sure, but
I mean, it's fine.
now that I understand,
Here, let's just pick. Like,
we can do like one from each maybe.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Cause like, there's definitely we
We
gotta
can,
talk about.
I mean, I think we can skim through these if we go
Or
quick.
would you like skip the video game stuff?
You want to skip?
Or was there anything
Or skim.
amazing?
Rip Game Informer. That's what I put.
That's a big rip right there.
Like
Even if you don't like, still, I don't know how much is used nowadays just because there's the internet, but it's still like
they're okay. I was reading up on it a little bit. They are still the 5th largest like paid magazine subscription in the
Really?
U.S.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
People still pay for magazines?
this
Game Informer
magazine.
is
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Game Informer was legit. Like
It was awesome.
back for 13, 14-year-old me, I was like, this is so cool. Getting a magazine just for video games.
I remember my brother when my brother was like 13, or he was probably 14 or 15 actually, and so I was like 7 or 8
Mhm.
because my brother's 7-ish years older than me. So like he would get them, and I thought they were the coolest thing.
Yeah,
Like, so like it goes back like a while.
Yeah,
I
Game Informer's been
remember
around
seeing
for a
when,
while.
Like, Brawl, Smash Brothers Brawl was announced in Game Informer,
Mhm.
and it was like the coolest thing ever.
Basically.
but yeah, I think just under half of all of their team got fired
Oh wow,
recently. So it's looking like they're gonna go under,
dang,
which it's a big rip because
yeah.
they've been
Maybe
a big part of
WordPress
the
can
gaming.
buy them out.
WordPress. They've been a big part of the gaming community for a while.
Yeah, heck yeah. I mean, especially now that the internet's here, but yeah.
They
The
have a-
internet is here.
Now before that was your go-to.
Hey.
That's when you knew when stuff was coming out.
Yeah.
You get posters and stuff like that sometimes.
Dude, yeah. I remember I got like a Metroid Prime poster through one of those one time.
Yeah, they had some really cool like artwork in there. Yeah, they were just visually pleasing magazines, and it was about video games.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a bummer.
All right.
Anything else you want to talk about
What
for video
does-
games?
Xbox and PlayStation have in common?
They're both consoles.
They can both play PUBG together.
Oh yeah, it's a thing now.
Starting like next month, I think.
But no PC crossplay.
Yeah, no PC. What do you think if PC and Xbox would be
Because
able to
PC
do it?
gamers are better at the game.
Oh well, yeah. You,
So
you
it
probably
wouldn't be
wouldn't
fair.
want.
It wouldn't be fair.
You wouldn't want mouse and keyboard players going up against controllers.
Heck no. Heck no. That wouldn't be fair.
No.
Basically. So, you know that company Hulu?
Yeah.
That company.
They're making something,
Oh.
which is rare. They're
What are they
making
making?
a Ghost Rider TV show.
Like a Hulu original kind of thing?
Yeah. It's gonna be, they said, more like the tone of Daredevil, so it'll be like a bit darker, more serious.
I think
But-
that'll work cool. That'll be cool. Cause
I think so, man.
I thought Daredevil was really good. I didn't watch. I got out of it, but when I was watching it, it was really enjoyable.
Yeah, same. I don't think I ended up finishing it, but it was good, especially since it was the pioneer of the Marvel superhero original kind of shows.
Yeah.
So it didn't really have like anything else to compare itself at the time. So it was definitely
Punisher is similar. Punisher too.
Didn't Shield come out first though?
Agents of Shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this was a little different.
That's
though.
different.
That was a little more lighthearted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was pretty dark. But yeah, the Punisher TV show. I don't know if y'all saw any of that. I didn't finish it, but it was
Yeah, I haven't
that one
finished all of them.
that one was really dark too. And obviously Punisher and Daredevil like overlap a lot.
Yeah,
Mhm.
those are the two out of all those, like, 4 or 5 series that got canceled. Those are the two that people were like, nah, man, we need our
They were good.
Daredevil and Punisher.
They were really good. They had some good fight scenes and stuff. Good backstory.
Yeah. Those two people liked a lot more than, say, not Iron Fist.
Luke Cage.
Like Luke Cage. Wait, is it Iron Fist? Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he have his own
And
show?
Jessica
I
Jones.
thought he just showed up in. Jessica Jones was pretty well liked. I thought. It's a little different.
I don't know. I think that's the only one I didn't actually watch.
I didn't
at
watch.
all.
I didn't either.
I
heard it
didn't
was
watch
good,
a
though.
single episode.
I heard that it was really good. I don't know though.
I don't know. Maybe you'll have to find out, or maybe you won't.
I don't know. I think they're still on Netflix though.
They
They're
are.
all on Netflix.
They are.
Were they all Netflix originals? Yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
whoever was working behind them did a good job. Which is something you can't say
For
for,
the
all
most part,
Netflix
yeah.
originals.
That's true.
But,
There are some good ones, but you
There
gotta
are.
filter through the bad ones, though.
Yeah, there's a lot of just not great quality ones.
So I guess another notable TV show is freaking Obi-Wan. Ewan McGregor coming back.
Really? For like a live action
Yeah, on
TV show?
Disney Plus.
Really?
Wow.
An
How do y'all
Obi-Wan
not know
show?
about anything?
Dude, if you think I don't know anything now, imagine what's gonna be like when school starts.
Dude, two things went. So y'all haven't seen the memes where it's like, okay, so like 2 things went down this week or last week by the time this comes out. We lose Spider-Man, but we gain Obi-Wan. Soul for soul.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
I deleted all my social media, remember?
So, you should just like automatically have a sense in your head.
A sense.
A Spidey sense.
The Force and the Spidey sense.
Yeah.
And the Force, guys. Come on.
You lose your Spidey sense, but you gain the Force.
Okay, I would take that trade.
Apparently.
Yeah, so Obi-Wan's back to do Obi-Wan like stuff.
Well, he did a good job, so I would say him as Obi-Wan was one of the best things about the prequels.
I tagged
The prequel
when I
trilogy.
saw that post. I tagged Heston in it. We have a friend that looks exactly like Ewan. I can't say his name.
Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, like him. If he was just younger, he's got like the beard and just like the face. We always joke like, "Yeah, we gotta get you in as Obi-Wan."
I mean, yeah, Halloween. I want to see it. Or not. Just do it for fun.
Just do it for fun.
That would be pretty funny.
Clone Wars coming back in the winter. That'd be lit.
I've heard a lot of really good stuff about
Clone Wars is like one of the best cartoons ever.
it. I've heard a lot of really good stuff.
Did you not watch Clone Wars?
I watched a tiny bit of it.
Bro.
It's one of
I
the
remember when it came out,
better
everyone was like, "Oh,
cartoons.
it's a Star Wars kid show," and then like a ton of adults were like, "This is amazing."
Yeah.
It gets
A ton
it
of
gets,
adults.
It gets
Yeah.
really crazy good.
That's what I heard. I have heard that. so.
I would definitely say that would be worth, if you're like a pretty decent Star Wars fan, that to take some of the bad taste of like the new kind of controversial, I don't know if I like this about Star Wars thing, to take a little bit of that out of your like mouth just to get something good that you haven't seen yet. Star Wars, Clone Wars is definitely good.
Yeah, I have heard that. Maybe if I have a lot of free time or something, I can get into it, but that's not a thing.
Yeah.
It's not likely.
So I guess to the movies, MoviePass changed the users' passwords so that they couldn't like cancel their subscription.
Wait, what?
So MoviePass has been like in a lot of trouble like the last year because they're offering a cheap service and like losing a lot of money and stuff.
Yeah.
So then they had to like restrict it to like, okay, you can't do blockbuster movies until like the second week they're out, or they started like restricting their service a lot. And then there still were losing people that were just like, all right, I want to cancel my account. So they were just like change their password so they like couldn't cancel.
Oh my
it.
gosh. That's like,
It's like Facebook stuff.
yeah.
That's like beyond Facebook stuff.
Sorry, I'm like laughing and hitting the mic.
No, you're good. I just don't-
But I thought that was so funny. Like, MoviePass just got busted for changing people's passwords so they can't cancel.
That's sketchy.
Yeah.
Because at that point, it's stealing money. I mean, if they don't want to give you their money, at that point, and they're trying to quit that, and then
Like trying to
you
cancel
saying
your
they
gym
can't.
membership.
Yeah, I mean,
That's pretty messed up.
this is completely off topic, but it's a little interesting. If I
Only a
may.
little.
Well, I was at the skate park yesterday, right? And oh my gosh,
I had a picture. It was us at Blue Haven walking off. We got up early one morning to watch the sunrise, and it's like all the trees and stuff around it, and there's like this cool picture. And one time we were at Market Street, and his brother.
and you saw Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like went to go get a drink or something, and I come back, and Matt had changed my backdrop, my back screen.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
haven't changed it yet because I've been too lazy.
Well, for the listeners, it was just Logan Paul's face.
Logan Paul's
very
face.
close up too. Not
So-
even a great picture. Very awkward picture.
Wait, what were you saying? About
Yeah, so the
something
skate park,
random?
right? I was at the skate park, and it's over on the east side of town for like it's like Avenue L and 34th, kind
Yeah.
of. So it's pretty far over there, just by almost like right by the interstate.
I know what it is.
It's Stubbs Park is the name of the park itself.
Wait,
and
is
then
it an
there's a
indoor
skate-
one?
No, it's outdoor.
Okay.
No, you're thinking of one night that got shut down. a long
I
time
know.
ago.
Because we went in there when it was shut down.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Is there still skate stuff in there? Like ramps and jump?
Yeah, and a shopping cart.
Oh, cool. Well, maybe
So
I'll jump in there.
we rode around in the shopping cart.
Nice. No, so like I was at the skate park, and it's kind of sketchy because it's in a sketchier part of town.
Yeah.
So there's like a little bit of broken glass, right? And I slipped and like cut my thumb
What?
on a tiny bit of broken glass, like a tiny bit. We're talking like not even like a square centimeter of broken glass. And I happened to fall, and my thumb fell. Like you can see like that tiny little bit. Right
I think
there.
got stabbed with a toothpick.
It, like, no, but so like my thumb was bleeding a lot.
Dang.
Dude,
Like a
glass
decent
hurts
amount.
a lot when you get cut with it.
It did, like it was really sharp, and then so I get home and I'm looking at it right, and there's still glass in my thumb,
Oh,
Oh, dang.
like a tiny little shard of glass. So I have to like pull it out, and like, man, it was like
Dang.
it hurt pretty bad. But like for this tiny little cut, I mean, obviously they can't see it, but it's small, right? It's very like
It
you said, it's
literally
like,
looks like a toothpick.
like if you got stabbed with a toothpick. Not even like a bunch of it. If you just got like poked to the point where
That's
it
literally
would
what it looks
pierce your
like.
skin, it's like that big. But it was bleeding like a decent amount, and so I made like a makeshift tourniquet with my hair tie because I was like, this is bleeding a lot. So I just tied my hair tie. It got blood all over it. I guess it washed out, but I mean it worked, but it still hurt because there was glass in it, and I didn't know that.
Wait, why do you carry hair ties on your arm?
Nostalgia.
Okay.
That's what I was like. I'm
You,
like,
did you not? You didn't see me, I guess, before I cut my hair.
No, I
Did you
didn't.
see me, Jeremy?
I didn't.
I
Jeremy
saw you
told
that
me.
first Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like shoulder length, right?
It was past my shoulders, yeah.
Past shoulders.
And my hair's really curly, so like
Mhm.
it. In
I
reality,
remember.
it was longer than that.
I remember in high school you let it grow out like a semi decent amount.
I hadn't cut it in 2 years though.
Wow.
Like, I had it trimmed once just because it was growing a tiny bit unevenly, so I got it trimmed out, and then no, but it was like past my shoulders.
Yeah.
So
Dang.
like I always had hair tied on me, and so
For those of y'all who can't see him,
It's-
we'll like straight up upload a picture of you in the podcast.
it's short.
It's decently short now.
This is the shortest I've ever actually had it.
Yeah.
Like ever.
Were you
it was-
sad when you got it cut off?
Oh, dude, yeah, and it was shorter than I asked for actually, like
Hashtag
significantly shorter than I asked for.
SIVI.
No, yeah. I mean, like, I might have been able to put up in a bun, but I'm not a huge fan of. I don't like the way I look with my hair up. I just have hair ties because, like, if I'm doing something.
Well,
I'll
then
put my
this
hair
year they banned beanies and hats because Harold, Harold, I just lost his last name.
I don't remember his last name.
up. Is he a level 2 student this year?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's got the pink tinted glasses.
Okay, yeah.
He last year then, at least on Fridays, he'd always wear like the same beanie, and then this
Oh.
year they're like no beanies. Everyone's
Oh,
blaming him for it.
Well,
Wait, why did they ban beanies?
Because it's like a professional.
it's just appearances.
It's
I guess.
it's just a civvy thing.
Oh.
The dress code is pretty strict.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it can be.
So,
Yeah.
anywho, yeah. Thanks for coming on and talking.
Dude, yeah, for sure. We never got into my nickname, but maybe if I ever come back on, we can
Hey,
get one.
His nickname was Google.
Yeah, but you
We're not
can't-
gonna
You
say
gotta
anything
know-
else,
hear
though.
The backstory.
We're not gonna say anything else. You have to come back.
It's not just a random
cliffhanger.
name.
Yeah.
A cliffhanger.
Hey, you're still here for 2 years plus after
At least two. I'm
You
here for
take
at least 2
at
years.
least 2 years.
Yeah. So if we ever have Brian back on, we'll have him tell you.
Yeah. Maybe I can. I'm definitely down to come back on. This was fun. So.
Hey, and you got free hash browns.
Yeah, free hash browns and coffee, so I'm not complaining.
Right. It was just the 8 a.m. part.
It was just getting up early.
Yeah.
Yeah, normally we do like 9 or 10 o'clock, but I was like,
No, I mean, if y'all got, it makes sense if you got stuff
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah, I
You
got
just go
some
to-
It's
stuff
funny
to
because I
do.
literally texted you, I can unless you're on a schedule, because I was like, oh, he's not doing anything, and he's like, oh no, I'm on a schedule, and I was like, oh shoot, okay.
yeah, I got
It's all good though.
stuff.
I can have self-discipline. I should probably do that since I mean, I get up
Is that
early
like
for
a
school
class
anyway.
you're taking right now?
Spiritual disciplines.
Special disciplines.
That's a really good class, but maybe that could be a different.
I've heard a lot of
different
good. Last year, when my friends going through it, I heard a lot of good stuff about that
Yeah.
class.
Maybe we can have a segment where I do a small. I can whenever I'm a guest, I can do a small little.
Just
what
go
I learned.
back and just restart the Derpy show.
Oh,
Oh
man.
my gosh. It's like
Anyone who knows Ben,
10
if you
years later.
listen,
Link
hit up-
to the
hit
description
up
below.
Ben.
Or,
It'd be
no,
it'd be funnier
link
now
in the-
because we're ironic now, and like
Ironic,
we were just
yeah.
awkward then. But
That'd be hilarious.
that would be pretty funny.
So.
I got it. Yeah, it was pretty funny. I know
That's great.
Mason Gary thought it was the funniest thing ever. But he's
Yeah.
just a nice dude. So anyway,
That's true.
That's yeah.
All right, I
Living
think
life in Brazil.
that's all the time we got for this episode. We'll catch y'all next week.
I'm a donkey. Shrek, I'm a